This is a Quickie of Ice and Fire. Orys Baratheon. Today we have for you a tale, the story of an alleged bastard, a man of ignominious birth in a noble family, and as we shall see, some things are fated to happen, despite the machinations of others. Orys Baratheon was the only friend and confidant of King Aegon I. Rumored to be his bastard half-brother, he stood by Aegon's side from the beginning of his conquest of the Seven Kingdoms. We know little of his early life, but by the time he was a man, he was a renowned warrior and a loyal supporter of Aegon. It is often forgotten in all the tales of glory and bloodshed that as often as possible Aegon sought to bring the kings and lords under his banner without violence. When offered the hand of Argilla, daughter of Argilac the Arrogant, Aegon countered with the offer of Orys's hand. Argilac took this as an insult. His daughter would wed no bastard, and thus the line in the sand was drawn. After many successes in battle, gaining an army of greater and greater prowess for Aegon, finally Orys marched upon the Stormlands with Rhaenys. Rhaenys then provided him with troop information of Argilac's army, so he knew what to expect. With the armies of Baratheon and Rhaenys upon her dragon Meraxes creeping up on him, Argilac swore that he would not die like his longtime archfoe Harren had. He met them on the field at Bronze Gate with an army twice the size of the Targaryen host, but no dragon. After watching his army be crushed, he challenged Orys to single combat, not willing to bow to the power of Aegon. Though Orys was wounded, the last Storm King fell, and the name Durrandon fell into obscurity that only historians such as ourselves discuss. Argilla swore to fight on, but seeing the way the wind blew, her lords betrayed her and offered her up naked and in fetters to Baratheon. Rather than dishonor her, we are told that Orys offered her every grace and praised her father. The wedding that had been denied eventually happened, almost as if it were fated, and Orys was named Lord Paramount of the Stormlands. Out of honor for his wife's father, he adopted the ancient house sigil of the Stag. During the First Dornish War, Orys and his army suffered a devastating loss at the Boneway. Any civilized lord would have ransomed him and his men whole, but Will of Will had other plans. He took each man's sword hand before ransoming them for their weight in gold. This, to an extent, broke Orys, and he resigned his office as Hand. He became obsessed with vengeance after that. Finally, during the Second Dornish War, Baratheon got his revenge. The Vulture King sent Lord Walter Will to besiege Stonehelm, but an aged and dying Orys rode out from Storm's End to crush their army against those same walls. Having his nemesis' son in his grasp, he took his sword hand and then the other, as well as both feet. Calling it his usury to pay for his years spent crippled, he hung them on his tent like a string of onions, smiling into the grave on his way home from the battle. If we believe the poets, two things are fated: love and revenge. Orys seems to have gotten the best of both worlds. Tell me what you think in the comments, and don't forget to leave some of your favorite moments from the Game of Thrones universe, and it just might end up in a Quickie. Subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to tune in for next week's Quickie of Ice and Fire. Aenys Targaryen, son of Rhaenys and Aegon, and brother to Maegor the Cruel. Thanks so much for watching. This has been a Quickie of Ice and Fire.